Alright, welcome back to the Revivals Invoke. This is the third revival. In this revival, we're going over Killzones, okay? Now, as I said in the introduction, remember, these are updated videos, or I guess you can say revamped videos of my previous ones. I'm going over Killzones. If you go back and scroll through my channel right now, you'll see like over a year and a half ago, or a year and 3/4 ago, you see that I went over Killzones, okay? I was a little slow when it came to ICT Concepts back then. I didn't know what I was doing, okay? Now here's a revamped version, okay? Here is a revamped version of Killzones. Okay, you have 6 Killzones. 6 Killzones. Yes, there are 6 Killzones. Now I can even pull up my Killzones indicator. Oh, just gonna use this indicator? No, I use it just to see, just to see it on my chart. But the 4 that I mainly have marked out is Asian, London, London lunch, and London close. Those are 4 of them, but there's more. Okay, I'm going to tell you the times and the purpose of those. Okay, I'm going to tell you the times, the purpose of them, and what should you do within them. Okay, so like I said, you have 6 of them. Okay, you have New York open, then you have you got New York. If I can type New York close, okay, then you have London open, London open, okay, then you have London lunch, then you have London, oh, I said long con, London close, then you have Asian. If can I spell Asian open? Okay, let me just. Okay, so you have 6. Those are the 6 right there. And I think there's another one because the New York lunch. I don't think that counts as anything though. But the New York lunch is probably doesn't really matter here. But we have 6. Okay, if I can drag it down, you have 6 kill zones. Okay. Now New York open. I'm gonna say this a couple times so you can remember this, and we're gonna go over in price action. But this section probably like 5-6 minutes. So get ready to hear me yap. New York open. Okay. I don't care what nobody else says. The official times, you can go back into 2022 mentorship and find this for yourself. The official time for New York Open is 8:30. Period. That's period. It's not 9:30. It's not 9 o'clock. It's not 9:10. It is 8:30. Okay, and there's a reason for that. Because if you look through all the economic events like retail sales, PPI, non-farm payrolls, anything other than FOMC, that's high news, that's like a high news driver, you're going to see that most of the news events come out at 8:30. And if you trade ICT concepts, you know that news drivers are a very important thing when it comes to ICT concepts because that's a form of manipulation and or expansion. You can argue with me on that. If you want to argue with me and say, "Oh, economic events only for manipulation," okay, buddy, just wait until the economic and cheerleading comes out because I have that coming soon. But New York Open, it opens. Okay, it's from 8:30 a.m. New York time. Remember, okay, New York time. See that? New York. Right there, New York. Okay, that's what it needs to be at. New York, 8:30 a.m. New York time to I think it's 11. I think to 11 exactly. Yeah. So 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York time. Okay, remember that New York time. And then New York close. Okay, New York close. They normally call it PM session. Same thing with the open. With the open, they normally call it AM session because it's during AM, 8:30 a.m., 11 a.m. And then New York closes 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I think. Yeah, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. That is the New York close. Okay, and if you let me tell you something. The last hour of New York close, which is 3 to 4, that entire thing is a macro. Okay, and even if you look here, right, it's literally going on right here. If you look, right, you see the times at the bottom. Go ahead and pay attention to the times at the bottom. Okay, from 3 to 4, there was a pump higher. But before that, it wasn't doing nothing. It was simply time distorting. But once that last hour macro came in, just immediately just pumped higher for the last hour of the day. Some people call it power hour. I call it a macro. Call what you want to call it. I call the last hour of the day a macro, or not last hour of the day, but last hour of your close, which is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. London open, okay, is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. Okay. London lunch is 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. New York time. Okay. London close is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. New York time. Please remember that. And sometimes if price is really, really eager, it'll send London close all the way into what is it? It'll send London close expanding all the way until 1 o'clock, in which it can do that. Okay. And then after 1 o'clock, New York close comes in. Okay. Now, I bet you probably have this question: how can two kill zones be in like this at the same time? How's that possible? Because as I just mentioned, London close starts at 10 a.m. right? But New York Open it's still open because New York Open is 8:30 to 11, right? Well, let me tell you this, okay? For example, if there was two separate countries, right? And they do the same thing but at different times, right? They might do the same thing 3 times a day at different times. One time throughout the day, the times might sync. They might be doing it at the same time. They might be trading at the same time in this case. And that's just what happens, okay? So while New York is here, okay, okay, basically while New York is opening, London is closing. That's all that's going on. While New York is opening, London is closing. That's all that is. Okay, that's all that is. Really, it's that simple. Okay, and if you want, I'll be giving you this indicator too, so you can mark all your um kill zones on your chart, so you won't have to actually look at the times at the bottom. Be like, is this that? Is this that? Is that? Okay, last one, Asian Open. Asian Open. Okay, and I think this changes due to daylight savings time. I'm not sure, but I need to look back and see. I'll probably put it in the description if I do find it out or not, because I heard ICT say it once before, but it does adjust during daylight savings time. But what I've always used is 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, those are my official Asian times when I've heard from Miss T say a couple times. But Asian Open is 7 p.m. 12 a.m. New York time. Okay, not Mexico City, not Santiago, not Amsterdam, not London, not Bogota, Chicago, but New York. Okay, remember that. Okay, so we're gonna go over this one more time so I can drill this in your head so you can remember it. New York Open. Okay, New York Open, 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York close, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. London open, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. London lunch, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. London close, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sometimes 1 p.m. if price is really energetic and wants to go further. And then Asian open, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. You got it? You can repeat this video as many times as you want to. I just have to drill that in your head before we get into the candlesticks, okay? So you know that now, I think. Hopefully you know that. But now we can go into what these kill zones mean. Okay, first we're gonna go through Asian because whenever a day closes, Asia is first. Okay. If you want to go through it in order, like what comes first time wise, it's Asia, London, then New York. Okay. Okay, that's just how it is. Because as you can clearly see, Asian, London, then New York is over here. Because as you know, London closes within New York. But Asian is the purpose of Asian is for it to consolidate. It's for it to get ready for the next day. It's for it to basically prepare price to go crazy. Okay, so it's I guess you can say getting ready. Okay, so let's say for example you're about to run a marathon. Asian is where you rest, you get your rest, you eat, you get ready, you pack up, and you're getting ready for the marathon. Okay, and let's say London is you're driving there, you're headed to the marathon, you're about to start running, and London's like, okay, let's go, let's head there. Okay, New York kicks in, and it's like, all right, let's do this. That's basically what it is. Okay, Asian is the preparation. And London is, but whatever word we use for that is I don't know. But the Asian is what prepares price in London, and New York is what distributes price. Is what's send price higher or lower energetically, okay? And as you can clearly see, not even just me explaining it, it literally just happens. If I go back a couple sessions or a couple different days, you will see that this happens a lot. As you see, Asian, sometimes London will consolidate further. As you see, we dropped. Okay. There's a lot of different things that can happen, and if you implement price delivery cycles into it, then yeah, you'll see why this has happened. But just let me cook, okay? like I said, Asian is built to consolidate because if you look back a couple times, Asia consolidates, Asia consolidates, Asia kind of consolidates here. But remember, it's not going to do this every single day. It's not literally like spot on, okay? You have to understand that it's not spot on. But as you see, normally Asia consolidates. Asia, I guess you could say consolidates here. Asia does not consolidate here. Asia consolidates. Asia does not consolidate here. Asia does not consolidate here. Asia consolidates. And Asia consolidates. You get it, okay? I don't have to keep saying this, okay? You understand exactly what I'm talking about. So why did that just come up? But normally Asia consolidates. London begins the day. It's like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do some things before New York does its thing. Okay. So Asian, both Asian and London prepare the market, okay? And what I mean by that is Asian consolidates the market. It accumulates orders, so then price can have that energy, can be like, okay, let's do this, let's move fast. Okay, like I explained. Asian is when you're sleeping, okay? Like for example, if you're getting ready for work, Asian is where you're hibernating, you're rejuvenating energy, you're getting ready for work in the morning. That's what Asian is. London is getting up, brushing your teeth, putting on your clothes, all that. That's what London is. And New York is you working. New York is when you work. Okay? Asian, you sleeping, you getting your rest. London, brush your teeth, put clothes on, eat breakfast, and then New York is where you go to work. Is that simple enough? I try to make it as simple as possible. But as we can see, that's exactly what happens here. Asia consolidates. London does some things, a couple little things, purges liquidity, might have hit like a higher time frame order block or fair value gap, something like that. And then New York kicks in and it's like, oh, bet, let's do this. You did some things. Let's see what you did here, London. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then New York's like, okay, let's do this. We going to finish your price action off. And it did just that. Very simple, right? Very, very simple. I don't have the kill zones marked on here, but remember, there are two more. There is um, New York close and what's the other one? New York. Wait, I just had it on here. I want to get that drawing back. Where was that drawing, dude? I can't believe they were. I just forgot it. Let me just. There we go. Okay, I found it. So there's Asia Open, London close, London lunch, London Open, and New York, New York Open, and New York close. Right. Those were the two. Those were the two I was missing. My bad, guys. Those were the two I was missing. It was the New York Open and New York close, which is basically London close because it's built into New York. But let's go over this a couple more times. Okay, we're gonna implement this into some trades. Okay, and one thing you want to trade within these time frames. Not, I wouldn't say Asia. I will be teaching you how to trade in Asia soon, but not now. Okay, so I don't recommend you to trade within Asia now because I haven't taught you how to do that yet. But the kill zones that I recommend you trade in, number one, New York. Okay, starts at 8:30, ends at 4. Okay, that's New York. Second, London. London makes some pretty good moves, as we can clearly see here. Okay, London has some decent price action, and even over here it has some decent price action. But does London and London lunch like, or do they do the same thing? Like what are they supposed to like? What's the purpose? Well, like what is the purpose of this? Normally, okay, like I said, Asian will consolidate, and London will begin to expand. It'll begin to move out of that consolidation range. But in this case, right here, London continued consolidating. And if this happens, right? If you have Asian and London consolidating, you either want to wait for London lunch to consolidate even further so there can be even more volatility during New York, or you can expect London lunch to do the, like I said in the analogy, you can expect London lunch to do the brush your teeth, take a shower, you know what I'm saying, put your clothes on, that. You can expect it to do that. Basically, you can expect it to do some stuff before New York, okay? If it starts expanding during London lunch, that's going to be your expansion. And London lunch is going to be your expansion. But if it begins during London, then London is your expansion. London is your brush your teeth, take a shower, put your clothes on, and all that. That's what London is. And then New York will finally be like, okay, let's do this. What did you do in London lunch? Had a failure swing right here, came into this order block. Okay, let's do this, and then it just shot higher. Very simple, very simple. Let's go over a couple more examples here. All right, as we see here, Asian I guess you can say kinda consolidated. I wouldn't say it consolidated most of the way, but even before it had a consolidation. Okay, so you have to include other price action too, not just what happens within these four or these. Well, really really these four, because there's Asian, London, London lunch, and then New York, which concludes London close, New York open, and New York close. That's really what New York consists of. It consists of all three. So if you want to say four, which is Asian, London, London lunch, and New York, which contains New York open, New York close, and London close. If you want to keep it like that, sure. Keep it. Actually, I'll keep it like that for the rest of the video. As you see, before we had this large consolidation, okay? If we see some crazy consolidation like this, don't expect Asian to keep consolidating, because normally it won't. Normally it's not going to keep consolidating. As you see, we finally leave the range, leave this consolidation range, then we start consolidating again. Okay, so you can I guess you can say that Asian consolidated because all it did was just leave this range, and then it began consolidating the entire way through. London came in, price started getting energetic, and then it expanded. It's preparing for the day. Brush your teeth, eat breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Put on your clothes, take a shower, all that. Okay, that's what it's doing before you finally get to work during New York. Comes down, purges this low. I don't know which. Did it take out both? I think it took out both of these, but it took out those lows. It came up below the what is it? Accumulated liquidity, as I call it down here, or this liquidity pool that's down here. If you don't know about liquidity pools, you can go to my channel and watch the video on that. Price then returns higher, coming down into this order block right here, creating an immediate rebalance. Also, does price come down and break the immediate rebalances low? Nope, it doesn't. So that is a valid immediate rebalance with a valid order block too. Following into, London lunch, price, goes higher just to keep the bullishness of this order block, just to say, oh, we want to go higher. London lunch goes higher, and then it begins to consolidate again, leading into 930. Now, why do I mention 930? If you know, 930 is equities open, or the U.S. stock market open. Okay, the U.S. equities open. That's what 930 is. Okay, and if you're trading stuff like Nasdaq and S&P, you would know that those two are indexes for the United States equities open. Okay, the Nas 100 has the top 100 tech stocks. S&P 500 has the top 500 stocks, period. And I forgot what the US 30 has, but the US 30 is not. I don't think you should trade the US 30. It's too. You can call it the dirty 30. It's very whiplashy. You try to get in there, you'll probably get your account blown within 30 seconds. So I'm not even going to bring up the US 30 because that crap should not even be traded whatsoever. Nasdaq and S&P, yeah. US 30, no. That's why we call it the dirty 30. Okay, that's exactly why we call it the dirty 30, because it will do you dirty. Okay, but going over this again, we consolidate. London kicks in. We wake up, brush our teeth, put on our clothes, take a shower, eat breakfast, all that. We come down, take out these lows, then we return higher, creating a bullish break of structure, returning down back into this order block. While we head back up, creating the break of structure, we have an immediate rebalance. The immediate rebalance is low down here, does not get broken, so that is valid. That is a valid immediate rebalance. We come back, touch order block, we send higher during London lunch, just keep the bullish order flow going. London lunch continues into a consolidation before New York, so New York can have that that nice volatility, because as you see, or as you know, accumulation leads to what? Volatility. Or if you want to say something else, accumulation leads to movement. I guess you want to say that. If you want to say movement, sure, but accumulation leads to speed. Okay, and speed leads to consolidation. That's it. Okay, that's something you just learned. So just keep that in your head at all times. Speed leads to consolidation, or volatility leads to consolidation, and consolidation leads to volatility. Very simple, okay? But as you see that, as we said here, we wanted to keep the bullish order flow, bullish institutional order flow. And look at that. Boom, we just exploded higher. Really amazing, honestly. It's truly amazing, okay? But I got a little off track here, so let's continue. I just wanted to show you a couple examples to get you some understanding of what I said before. But let's keep explaining what these kill zones do, or what's the purpose of them. Like I said, New York is meant to, I guess you can say, propel price or continue what price wants to do. Okay. Because, for example, London Asian, like I said, Asian is going to prepare the day. It's going to prepare the day to move fast. London is going to prepare New York. Okay. What I mean by that is London is going to do some things to show you what New York wants to do. Okay. And then London lunch will prepare New York even more by either consolidating or continuing what London wants to do to show you what New York wants to do. Very simple. Okay. You can replay that as many times as you want to. So you can slow it down. You should slow it all the way down 0.01 speed. You can slow it all the way down. You can speed it all the way back up. Okay, very simple. Because I did say that pretty fast. So you can go ahead and rewind and watch that. Okay. As we see, wherever my vertical line is, right here, 8:30. After this time, price began getting energetic. Even before 9:30, you can see that price started moving faster. But 9:30 is really where it's going to kick in that volatility, especially for the indexes. Okay, for these things here, the US 100 cash or the Nasdaq, that's where you're really going to find that volatility is at 9:30 open, unless there is a news driver at 8:30. Which this no news driver at 8:30. Okay, if there's no news driver at 8:30, then you're probably going to see most of the volatility kicking at 9:30. But if there's some news driver at 8:30, remember for the indexes such as US 30, I'm not even going to mention that nowhere, but such as the Nasdaq and S&P 500, if there is a news driver at 8:30, then you're probably going to see a little bit more volatility during 9:30. You're not going to see too much, but you're going to see volatility. You get what I'm saying? Because 9:30 is going to take up some of that volatility from the previous consolidations here. But as you see here, there was no news driver, so you can obviously expect most of the volatility to kick in at 9:30. In which, if we move this with this line over, you can see that most of the volatility did indeed kick in during that 9:30 candle and just completely shot price down. Okay. London close is meant for reversals. Okay, it's meant for price to reverse or do some things like such as retrace before continuing higher or lower, whichever way is your bias during New York close, which is 1 to 4 p.m. Okay, so let's go over an example of that. So as you see, Asian consolidates down here. Okay, then London kicks in, sends price lower. That's your Judas swing right here. If you want to call that the Judas swing, you can. It sends price lower, creates a failure swing down here, but it purges liquidity right here. So these are two confluences showing that it wants to go higher. Takes out a low, but doesn't break this low. There's a reason for that. It creates a failure swing because it's like, no, we don't want to go here yet. We want to go higher first. So it's telling us, okay, let's go higher first. London lunch kicks in. It keeps the institutional order flow going by pushing higher. Like I said, most of the time it'll consolidate to continue during 8:30, in which this day there was an 8:30 news driver because you can clearly see it right here. This gigantic candle, or as my administrator calls it, the Jason Love candle. And yes, you can call it that. If you know who Jason Love is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Price heads higher during London lunch. After that, this little interval right here, price begins to consolidate because there's no Killzone here. There's no type of energy going on, no type of trading going on. No one's trading right now. I mean, there probably is someone trading, but algorithmically, there's no one trading. Okay, so 8:30 kicks in. That starts the New York Open. Sends price higher. Price retraces. Oh, there's a 9:30 equities open. Sends price higher. But pay attention to the London close. The London close reverses price and retraces it to where? To where? Let's look. Let's really pay attention to look. It sends price into a premium. It sends price into a discount of this range here. Oh, I don't know why I have quadrants on, but it sends price into a discount. In matter of fact, a optimal trading tree. Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. And we target this fair value gap too. If you know that, if you paid attention to that, we came and filled this fair value gap, which was below this low. So this fair value gap is a pretty good price, a pretty good level for price to bounce off of, in which it was right within this optimal trading tree level. So what I'm basically saying here is London close will normally either reverse the whole day, it'll like literally turn the whole day around, and all this price action before it was just manipulation. It'll either turn the whole day around, or it'll simply make price retrace before continuing the move that was initialized during the start of the day. As you can see, the initial move was bullish. It was higher. London close kicked in. It retraced price. Okay, it retraced it. And if you notice, it did this with a lack of displacement. Okay, So it really doesn't want to go low. Like what I mean by it really doesn't is it doesn't want to end off the day bearish. Okay, it's doing this temporarily so price can continue going higher during what? New York close, which is 1 to 4. Okay, 1 to 4. And does it do that? Oh, it does exactly that. It does exactly that. So you can see the power of kill zones just by understanding them. But remember, like I said, and I will say this before, do not use any of the concepts that I teach on this channel by itself. Do not. Always use higher time frame analysis. Always combine other confluences. Always use the concept of versatility, which is putting confluences together, concepts together, thinking what price could do next, why is it doing it, where is it going, and just what is it doing? You know what I'm saying? So don't use this and say, oh my God, I found a holy grail. Nope, I'm not even going to allow you to do that. That's why I'm teaching you these concepts in such fragmental ways. Okay, as you can see, I'm teaching it concept by concept. If you go through the video, go through my videos, everything is concept by concept. I don't just give you a model and say, here, this is all you need. I'm giving you these concepts fragmentally so you can put them together on your own and make yourself your own strategy. Okay, or if you want to be versatile with it, you learn everything that I have for you to learn, or everything that I have, on this channel, and whatever you see put together on the chart, you're like, okay, this makes sense. Let's take the trade. Okay. Well, other than that, I had a little 30-second, 1-minute yapping session, whatever you want to say at the end of the video, and I'm so sorry for that. I'll be ending this revival here, or this episode here, whatever you want to call it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.